What's going on, guys? New here. Today I want to make all of you Citadel farmers. I want you to be able to get maximum Citadel crisis fragments with minimal risk. I'm going to show you how to craft Waystones that will be very low risk for you if you at least have a baseline level of defense and offense at the end game. And when you come across a zone like this especially, I'm going to show you how you can maximize your profit margin in the safest way possible. So you'll see here in my inventory that I have a couple of precursor setups and I have a couple of towers that are ready to go. I'm using Visions of Paradise. Amazing precursor tablet. It is awesome for magic finding. It's awesome for just about anything in the event that you're in an area and you have sort of precious zone or area you would love to be able to run the map more than once. Yes, this in fact works on Citadel maps. You might have heard that from some other people. Indeed, it works. I've been doing it a little bit myself. Now, it's not like the be-all end-all in a situation like this. Stay tuned for a later video where I'm going to show you a much more optimized scenario. But even in the case that you had just one tower and one Citadel, you can still make a little bit of extra profit with what I'm going to show you today. And so you probably already know that Waystone drop chance in the area affects Crisis Fragment. Now, I believe it's the only thing that affects it. In fact, let's take a second here and just point out that, no, not there, on Refund Atlas Passives. First of all, very, very good idea. In fact, I would say you're kind of memeing if you don't do this. Take every single increased effect of Waystone modifier, explicit, as well as unstable energies, and take every single thing that has to do with precursors, if you're going to do this. Pretty much any time. I mean, almost in any strategy, honestly, if you're doing that. Now, you might not do it at the very beginning because you built a little bit weak and it can make the maps a little harder. And we are going to be focusing on the harder maps today. But also, generally speaking, people will look into this kind of thing. Increased quantity items dropped by the map boss, as well as increased quantity of Waystones dropped by the map boss. Of course, I mean, surely this would count for Crisis Fragment. But actually, I think it does not. There's been a lot of speculation back in 0.1, unless there's some new information I'm not aware of. I've kind of searched, I've asked around, and there is, you know, a little bit of conjecture in the community about this, but I'm under the impression it has literally zero impact. Area quantity, player rarity, area rarity, none of that matters. The only thing that matters is this stat right here, increased quantity of Waystones found in your maps. That will populate on the map information on the right hand side. You want that number as big as possible. It's the only one that matters. And again, please inform me if I'm wrong, but I've gone long and short out of my way to try and find the answer to that, and I can't find anything, and I can't seem to replicate any sort of data that would suggest otherwise. So just wanted to get that out there. That's my belief for now. Let's get back into this map zone here. And you'll see that I have not only the precursors, but I have some maps. Check out this map right here. What do you notice about this map? It is 4 modded. It has 3 suffixes. It has a whopping 195% Waystone drop chance. How did it get that high with only 4 suffixes, or 3 suffixes rather? Because with 3 suffixes and 1 prefix, that's 3 portals to the map. I could die twice and it'd be totally fine. But anyway, also, the map, at least in my opinion, isn't all that dangerous. With elemental weakness, bleed, and faster monsters, it's kind of bad, but that modifier is especially good because it gives a high amount of Waystone chance. You'll have to check out PoE2DB modifier stat page on Waystones to see which ones are good. Monster damage and minus max res, and some of the really hard ones grant extra Waystone drop chance per mod, but you may want to think twice about some of those hard mods. But anyway, this is really good, and by the way, I have a Regex for this. In case you didn't know, this Regex passes the checkpoints for, you know, whichever maps have at least 100% Waystone drop chance. It's a nice way, just a nice quick and dirty way to search for maps like that. But if you don't have maps like that already, you can do this. Check it out. I have a map that is really good because it already has 45% Waystone drop chance with 1 suffix modifier. The prefix I don't really care about, especially if the prefix doesn't look like it's going to be good. Anyway, I can use this dextral coronation to force a suffix You won't even believe how cheap these omens are. We can do it again, and voila, I have 100%. And damage is extra chaos pretty bad, unless you're a chaos inoculation build, which is perfect for this setup. I'm not running the tankiest build in the world, but this is the tankiest variation of the build, and that's really nice with CI. It's going to be a terrific map. In fact, I almost feel compelled to run it already, but we're not done. We're going to have to put that map in here with 3 Distilled Envy. Check it out. Players in your areas are 45% delirious. That makes the map harder. Although it does make bosses be stuck in delirious animation, so that's kind of a nice thing. 30% increased Waystone found in area per Distilled Emotion. And now this is suddenly the equivalent of a halfway decent 6 mod corrupted map like this one. Except this one also has the Envy Annoyance. So if you subtract that, that would have been 190, right? If I just had a typical non-delirious map like this, that would be 190. Actually identical to this one. These two maps are the same. They have the same value of Waystone drop chance if this didn't have Envy Distilled Emotion. So that's how much, I mean, look how much more dangerous this map is compared to this one. Unless you had 0 Chaos Res, that is. My goodness, like, that's so much better. I mean, if nothing else, it's 3 additional portals. And I'm going to show you a sort of hack in the game, maybe like a bit of a glitch that you can do to make the map even easier. Stay tuned for that. We're actually going to do this uncut. I'm going to go straight into the map here off of this first round. So I'm going to put in these, and now I need the Citadel to become irradiated. Otherwise, I can't run it again. This allows me to run it more than once. I'm sacrificing 1 tablet that would give me quant of Waystones otherwise, but obviously worth it in the event of this. Now, that made, like, literally every map in this zone irradiated, because you saw how many that made irradiated. And so we're just going to run the really safe one right here. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. Admittedly, I'm kind of starting to run the riskier one, but look at that. 3 portals spawn, okay? And that's going to have some really amazing ramifications here. Again, let me get to the boss area real quick. I'm going to show you the little hack, so to speak. Okay, so we can open up the map, and I got 337% Waystone drop chance. This is usually going to result in 2 fragments. I don't exactly know the breakpoint. I used to think breakpoint was like 300, but it's probably higher than that. Also, at this time, still not sure if you can drop more than 2 fragments. But you can definitely get that number up to 400, even 500 if you dupe the precursor effects, especially if you have more towers, even with a lower number. And so Doriani boss is, you know, around here somewhere. I don't know. This map just feels really safe. I wish the boss icon showed up. Actually, I think it usually spawns on the edge of the arena, like over this way. Come on, did I just... Oh, nice. I just beelined it. Wow. I am starting to get a little good at this map, understanding this layout. Okay, so let's see what happens. We got some rarity. We got no quant. And you know what? I'm probably going to drop 2 fragments. I might just drop 1. But I feel pretty safe on this boss. I don't even really have to try that hard. I don't think there's really any way he can kill me. I'm not even sure if he can one-shot me at all. Do be warned, Doriani is a little bit annoying in that he often performs actions well after he should have phased. I've noticed this a lot. And my advice is just don't ever stop moving, generally speaking. Pathetic. This has indeed happened, and this is basically the worst of it. And so look, I mean, he's still used... He's used like 12 abilities since he's phased down below. You just have to get him below half health. Alright, now this is phase 2, the much easier phase, go figure, and we're gonna go ahead and make him eat his lunch. Notice how little life he has, because it's a tier 0 Doriani. Alright, so we'll see. Did 2 fragments drop? Did 2 fragments drop? No, I only got 1. Alright, well, that is some risk. And that does come inherent with you choosing to only run about 200%. And so, in that particular case, I actually lost a little bit of money because we're going to see that the fragment is only worth almost 2 divines. But the Visions of Paradise is worth around 3 divines. And so that doesn't end up being worth it. And that's why Visions of Paradise isn't going up higher, because some people are still working on the low end. So you do want to think twice about this entire setup, but generally speaking, you might just have to take my word for it. More often than not, I would guess 80% of the time, those numbers is going to result in 2 fragments. Some people have reported getting 2 fragments with like 100%. Okay, real quick, hard cut to me actually showing you what I said I'm going to show you. The hack, or the glitch, if you will. Notice I'm in a totally separate area. It's actually identical, and I have an identical type of map in here. I use Visions of Paradise. This is the first round. 3 suffixes, 3 prefix map. You can see there. And what I mean to show you is that I need to actually die first time around to demonstrate this. We already talked about how using the triple envy gave me 90% extra waystone drop chance, but that came with a massive downside. Well, I mean, arguably pretty massive downside of making the map delirious, making it a lot harder, making monsters tanky, making them more dangerous, making them hit harder, adding extra, you know, delirious monsters to the map. But look at this, I died, and because I have multiple portals, I can port back in, and if I die on the boss, big caveat, you have to die on the boss, not on the trash. But if I die on the boss, the delirium's gone, but the waystone chance is still here. Ironically, it's like the same amount of waystone chance that I got on the other one, actually. So now I can come back in and kill Doriani. It has even less health. He's even easier to kill. And I still have 2 portals left. Now, you would probably not just sacrifice a portal automatically, I would assume. But if you died once, guess what? The remaining 2 portals you have, they're going to be much easier. Now we can actually see, and I'll go ahead and let you see the drops here. Bonus content, guys. 338%. 2 fragments. Suffice it to say, the law of averages should indicate that you come out ahead on this, and if you really want, this is kind of another part of the video, if you really want, you can take it up a notch. You can risk a little bit more. You can run something like this, okay? A 10 modded map with 5 suffixes, or the true 6 modded map with all suffixes. I'm going to go ahead and run this a second time and see if I can make it better, except I'm not going to do that yet, actually, because I'm going to put in the precursors for round 2. 485 is certainly a bigger number. Probably also procced the suffix, more suffixes. Actually, no, probably not. Actually, there's 5 mod suffix. Now, I only have 1 portal.
You survived this.
Okay, so this time we have 485% waystone drop chance. I think there's almost a 100% chance of getting 2 fragments in this case. If there is a breakpoint, it might be something like 500. I didn't expect 2 chaos orbs, though.
I'll not say no to that.
Alright, well, I suppose you wouldn't mind me doing this one more time, right? There's no more towers. It's got 76% increased waystone drop chance. Let's do the highest number. A little bit of risk here. I got a damage is extra fire. I got some monsters are extra tanky, extra prog, extra fast. Chilled ground's actually helpful with all the axe. So, we'll see. This one is a little bit of a risk. If anything goes wrong, I might end up dying. Oh, wow. Okay, so this tells me that I probably did proc 25% more suffix effect before, because I barely got any extra number here. 524. And yeah, what I've noticed is that if I'm like going absolute max to the hilt on this, like I am right here, and I don't proc anything, it's still around 500%. So I have come to find that trash is actually more dangerous than the boss, except when the boss does a crap ton of mechanics after he's already phased, and you can't really do anything. You just sit there and wait for him to phase. Aside from that situation. And that is a boss kill. We got 524. Round 3. 2 fragments. And what is that? Is that a grand project? It's random. Alright, well, I got 5 fragments in 3 Citadel maps. If we go in and we trade all 5 of these for some divines, we would see that I'd get, well, almost 10. almost 10. And so I paid 6 in the Visions of Paradise. So net profit 4, nearly 4. I'll go ahead and do it in Chaos instead, since that'll be a little more manageable. Alright, well, anyway, hopefully you get the idea. That's going to be it. Alright, so I showcased you kind of everything about what you can do here. The only thing left to say is something I'm going to say in a following video. I'm actually going to do a little bit of a harder test on min-maxing this. I'm talking like multiple towers, multiple citadels in range. Pretty awesome when that all comes together. But this is pretty straightforward. I showed you a really safe method that still has a pretty high chance of getting 2 Citadel or Crisis Fragments, but not always. And then you could ramp it up a little bit with more risk. You got to see, you know, with the Deliriousness, no Deliriousness, with multiple portals, and then we got more risk, where you only get 1 portal, and it's going to be in Deliriousness. Or the maximum risk, 6 modifiers, a little bit harder because you got to like corrupt it all into suffixes, and you got to pray that you didn't get a really bad suffix combo, but virtually guaranteed to, and who knows, maybe even 3 fragments. That'd be kind of awesome. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think. If this helped you sort of chart out, plan out how you're going to do Citadels, if it's changing the way you're going to do Citadels, are you using the Visions of Paradise, or are you going to start using it now? I think everybody should be using it. Honestly, it should probably go up in price. Really. Well, that might make the Crisis Fragments go up in price too, hopefully. Hopefully it wouldn't destroy the strat. Wow, that would really suck if it did. But either way, in the most optimal conditions, it'd still be amazing currency. I made a lot of currency in a pretty short period of time here, so more where that came from in a follow-up video. All right, guys, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.